So even as before Sasa Tuvai very protectively, first off, what are we wearing?
So this is a protective gear or a bee suit that you must wear when you are harvesting your honey.
Okay.
Now this protects you from bee stings and also keeps you safe as you harvest the honey, so that you can also make it very comfortable for you. You must also have something also we call a smoker. A smoker is a tool that usually you put in burning charcoal plus sawdust, and then you also add sawdust or something that can burn like fuel. So this smoke usually now makes your bees docile when harvesting. So that now this smoker plus the suit makes your job very comfortable.
Right.
Yes.
How many types of bees are there maybe?
Well, in a beehive we can have like 3 types of bees, and these types are what we call the drone, the worker bees, and the drones. Sorry, the queen bee, the drones, and the worker bees. Those are the only 3 types of bees that we have in a beehive, and each one of them has a particular job in a beehive. Like the queen lays eggs, almost like 1,800 eggs per day. The drones usually mate the queen, and the worker bees do all the other job, like a collection of forage, that is pollen and nectar, cleaning the beehive, protection of the beehive, like they are the soldiers in the beehive. Yeah.
So even as you talk about matters innovation, what would a farmer need to know before we even get into the beehive? What should someone who is watching us and probably thinking, let me get into beekeeping, what's the first thing they need to know when it comes to everything?
Wow. Beekeeping is farming like any other. And I would encourage someone that is willing to start beekeeping. First of all, the first thing that they should do is get information or go get a training. That one now acquaints you with the relevant information that ensures you know the type of beehives that you want to keep.
Okay.
What are the things that you have to consider, like the area, closeness to people, forage, and also the amount of honey that you can harvest from a beehive in a particular period in a year. In a year.
Right.
And also, there are a lot of things that you learn when you go for a training. Okay. Now from that, now you can go on to acquire your beehives now. At least now you can, with the little knowledge that you got now, you can be learning now with your beehive now.
Right.
Yes.
Fantastic. So now is the time that we can have the headgear on.
Yes. Now we can wear the suit now on, proceed now to the beehives.
Okay.
To check whether we are going to get honey. For sure, although we harvested a few days ago, but we are going to check some of the hives for honey.
So I think I'll request Hilary atusaidie na maneno ya kuvalisha.
Yeah.
Yes. Ndio makosa isifanyike. Is it possible to get in there without this?
I'll say no. Because of a few factors. Because now you find that African bees are very aggressive and also very protective for their honey. So like for Western bees, you can also go without bee suits. Okay. Or sometimes there are bees that are a little bit docile that you can also go to harvest without bee suits.
Na hii hata mtu hauoni.
So the veil has to be black for you to find that when it's black now, it gives you a better clarity than when you have another color. Probably like white would make your vision blurred and you would not be able to see clearly.
All right. So we have some sawdust here.
We have sawdust. The sawdust is what we are going to be adding to the smokers.
Okay.
When if the fuel burns out. If the fuel burns out, we are going to be adding it to the smokers.
All right. So yes. We can.
Now we can proceed. We have also something called a frame holder. This is going to be using now to lift the frames from the beehive, and a bee brush to brush bees away. Back to the hive, so that they don't follow us. This is also going to be used to separate parts of the hive when we are harvesting. Now you'll be able to see, because now the bees usually stick parts of the hive using something called propolis. Okay. Yes. Right. So we'll be good to go. I can wear my gloves, then we can proceed.
Do you master the vision for this? Is very, very interesting.
Yeah, so we can proceed.
Right. Team, we're good?
Yes, we can proceed ahead. Yes, thank
Sawa
you.
sawa. Amesema best of luck, tusiumwe hapana, but as long as we have this, we're okay.
We are good to go.
All right. So how many the beehives are in here?
In this apiary alone, we have around 250 beehives with around 80% colonization. It's around 200 of them with bees, and almost around 50% of them with the supers. Supers is now the upper part of the beehive, which you are going to see. So Hilary is going to lead us to where we have the beehives with super.
Oh. So
Yes.
what's the difference?
There is a difference. This is a brooder box without the super, and then now the super is what comes above now here. So like for this one, there are no bees and there's no.
They're no.
Yeah.
Umefungua and I was like, are you sure?
Yeah. So with the ones that have no bees, are problem. So we can proceed.
Oh, all right. So.
Yeah. So where's the frame holder? Yeah, okay. So good. So
you're saying there are about 200 and
we have 250 beehives here.
250. So how do you check up on every single one and ensure everything is okay?
Now we have a full-time apiarist who is here to be checking these hives every week for honey, and also to feed the bees if there's no honey. I mean, there's no forage, and also give reports every week.
Why yellow? Why the yellow color?
Yellow color is more conspicuous for bees and also for you. Yeah, so we're going to. Yellow color is very conspicuous, and also is also very, and also used to preserve the timber. Not really necessarily yellow, but you can also have beehives with different color. Kidogo dongo, you can we shoot hata hapo tu zikiingia. Yeah, you can come here. So as you can see, the bees, if you can check clearly, some of them are coming with something on their legs. That's usually now the pollen. They are carrying back into the hive now. If you check closely, you'll see some of the bees with the pollen on their legs. So we can start the process. We can open the hive.
Oh yes. So first of all,
now the hive is usually put at around 3 feet from the ground.
The
reason is to deter insects, like chlorine insects, and also secondly, it's also at a comfortable working height, so that you don't have to bend too high or have to really strain too much to get to where the hive is. Then also there is here you usually apply grease or grease now also to deter those chlorine insects like the black ants. We also have you have to have your hive with an opening on one side. You are only this opening on one side. They are not on two sides. Then also now this hive has this part, which is now the brooder part, and now this is also the super part now. And this is now the lid, which now prevents now the whole hive from water and other external weather conditions like sun and all that.
So technically, if we were to get honey, yes, in which part of all this hive is it located?
Asali, honey is in this part. The upper part.
The upper part, okay.
Yes, from with this, you can see there's clearly a demarcation here and here. Now from here upwards, there's honey now. Okay. This downwards is what we call now the brood. The brood? Yes, brood now. It's like the young ones of bees, their food and all that.
Wow, I gotta say, having the bees swarming around me is a whole test of
patience. Yeah.
Oh, a whole test of patience.
You can also see on the other end we have some feed where we usually also give them water if there's no water during dry periods or dry seasons. Know that. We also have a feeder. Tunaenda mahali tuone feeder, si ndio?
So before we get to the feeder, yes, how many bees are in here?
A mature colony usually can contain up to around 50,000 bees.
There are 50,000 of them in here?
Yes, in here now.
Wow.
And that's a mature colony now. But now when a colony comes in the beehive, when the beehive is very new, or a colony is very new, they are usually like around 10,000 bees, which come to colonize the beehive. But now because the queen usually lays eggs every day, and she can lay up to around 2,000 eggs a day, Now the colony keeps on growing, becomes bigger. When the colony becomes very huge, to feed in the beehive, they usually do something called natural colony division.
Okay.
Some of the bees will swim away to go to a different beehive.
All right.
Yes.
Why are they swarming around me like this? Do they sense that I'm an outsider?
No, they feel they're just, it's of your presence that feel they just feel like you are close to their entrance. In fact, now the best place to start while harvesting is this side, where there's no entrance. Because now when you stand this side now, it's like you're breaking you are blocking their path.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you said they're about 50,000.
Exactly.
So because I mean there are some of them that zinatoka, zinarudi, do they exit the 50,000 of them?
No. In fact, now only a fraction of the bees would go out to forage. And mostly these ones are what you call now the quacker bees, who are also female, and they're also foragers. So, in fact, right now most of the bees are out, but we also have some of them that are in here now. Yes, this is something that is called the division of labor in a beehive now. Yes.
So how now do bees come in before we now open the hive?
In terms of
even attracting a hive, and even starting a hive.
Wow. So when you have your box, you usually have something called the worksheet, which I also showed you. That thing that looks yellow.
Yes.
Now you put it inside the beehive, inside the frames, and now that scent usually attracts bees into this particular box.
Okay.
But now for purposes of baiting bees, you can also suspend your beehive at a distance, probably on a tree. Now when the bees will colonize, you can bring the beehive down, and then you can put it on a stand like this.
Ni wakati wa...
So if you're ready, we can go ahead, open the bees.
Do you need to puff the smoke?
Exactly. So we need to smoke a little bit like that. Now when you smoke like this, the bees usually become docile. What happens is now when you smoke it like this, there's a queen on this lower side, and there are other bees on this upper side.
Okay.
So what is happening now, the queen might feel like there's fire, and the queen loves the bees will feel like there's fire, and the bees usually love their mother, who is the queen, and even the honey. So most of the times, all the bees would come down to protect the mother. And now in that case, you'd have your upper part, which is now the super, with very few bees. You can go ahead and open, see what we can find inside here. If we are not going to find honey here, we are going to check another one. Yes, to a next one. Like this, no smoke. Yes, you can smoke.
Yeah. The moment of truth is here.
So now you have to be two of you
Okay.
to really help each other in this, like this. Now when you open like this, wow. I'm pretty sure, I can assure you, there's a high probability that there's honey here. You can see now the bees are, this is called a clearer board. Yes, and as top cover. No, there's a lot of honey here. I can even feel it. Yes, wow. Sorry, it's a lot of propolis. Propolis. Wow. So, this is now the bees look like in the beehive. This is now there's something that we call festooning. Festooning is like they're trying to measure the length of the combs before they start building now. Yes, so we're going to...
How long does that process take? If a colony was to
smoke,
and the queen came in and alafu akahatch.
Around 3 months, you're good to go.
3 months.
Yes, so in this one looks like there's no honey, but also we look for another one. Which one? Wow. So there's some honey here, and you can see this is now honey now. You can see the way I'm brushing the bees away, and we are going to carry this one. Wow, you can hold this. Yeah, you can hold this one. So these ones have not really filled the combs. When they fill the honey, usually the comb they fill the comb all the way from here up to maximum of here, and the one comb can hold a minimum of around 1 kg. 1 kg, yes. You can see the work of the brush. Yes, you can smoke. Wow. So now the honey usually when it's ready, usually looks like something like this, which is now we call it uncapping. And capping means now, I'm sorry, we call it capping. Capping means now the bees have put the honey in here, and then they
sort of seal it.
They first of all, because the moisture content is high, it's like they blow their wings to ensure that the moisture content is reduced inside in the combs, and then when the honey now attains the right moisture content, they close it now.
So what's the room temperature that should be in this hive?
Inside the beehive, we usually have around 34.5 degrees Celsius inside the beehive.
34.5.
Yes. And but the moisture content for the honey should be around 18%. Agreeable standards are it's around 18.1%.
Let me hold you that way. So even as we continue, because I mean we're definitely talking about climate change,
Yes.
Even as the world,
Yes.
and we're reporting of having the hottest of years
Yes.
of the past.
Yes.
So you'd get, for example, right here in Kiserian, normally it's about, let's say, 30 to 32 degrees, but then inafika wakati imeenda all the way to 40.
Yes.
How is it that in here it's able to regulate its temperature despite high temperatures?
So you find that a beehive is like a microclimate kind of setting, eh? And then there are the bees that we call the drones that I said usually fan their wings to maintain those temperatures when it's very high, when it's very low. And this is something also I mentioned called the clapperboard. Clapperboard usually like it's an insulation in the beehive to ensure that there is no effect of the external weather conditions, whether it's very hot, whether it's very cold, something like that. Yes.
So these ones that I'm seeing here, are these the colonies?
These ones are bees now. Colonies is the whole collection of the bees.
Oh, okay.
The whole now unit is called a colony. But now you can check like this. We have. I can open on the lower part of the beehive.
Definitely.
Yes, you can put it down. Kachini too. But smoker, you need to smoke, eh?
And you say the purpose of the smoker is just to make them
To make
docile?
the bees docile, eh?
Okay. Bila hiyo zitasumbua sana.
Sana. So for this one now, usually open this part when you are doing inspection. Like, see now the work of the hive tool, eh?
Yes.
You cannot lift this one without this tool I'm using. It's called a hive tool now.
So umesema so far nimeshika kg ngapi ya honey?
Kama mbili, kama around 1 kg to 2 kgs. of
1
honey.
kg. Hey.
Yes, so you know you'll be very surprised by the amount of honey that you can find here. Actually now this.
So is a white hapa nini?
See all this is brood. Brood now is a young one of bees, eh?
Oh, so these are the eggs.
These ones are no. This one is honey.
Oh, here white.
Yes, the white one is honey. The white one is honey, but we don't usually harvest from the lower part, eh?
Oh, why?
Here asali ni yao ya kukula, but they also
Oh, ni yao.
yes. So you don't harvest this, so you can put this one here. We can have this smoke. You need smoke. Everything. Wow. Now this is the brood. The brood now looks like this. If I was to punch this, you see white substance, eh? No, those ones are the young ones of bees now. Yes. No, and also now on the upper part, now we have a small layer of honey. Yes. So that's and so now for inspection, you check inspection for pests like the wax moth, like the small hive beetles, like for varroa mites, but varroa mites are not very common here in Kenya. So like
How often is the
inspection should be done every 45 days.
Every 45 days.
Yes.
Okay. This is honey dripping.
This is honey dripping.
But umesema hiyo ni yao.
Yeah, we don't harvest this. This is their honey. And see all this. All this is honey. Wow. Sorry. All this is brood.
Oh, brood. Oh.
But now there is honey on this other comb here. Can smoke domo.
Oh, hiyo yenye inakaa fresh hivi.
Eh?
Mishikana. Wow.
Eh? Eh?
This you'd actually said about 50,000. I'm like, yeah, this actually definitely feels like.
This is brood. But all this is honey. You just insert the cob, but they are going to repair. This is now what we call the drones. So the young ones of the drones, they look like this. Their cells are usually like expanded, but now the workers are like this now. If I could punch, like you could see how they look like. It's white substance in, and then you find they are just closed so that they can hatch. Yes, like that. So those are bees, young ones of bees. Even these ones here, like that.
So Momo, can you do this kind of farming anywhere in the country?
Bees can survive in any kind of climate, whether cold, whether hot, whether because you can also, if for example I put a beehive in Mount Kenya, the bees that would occupy that particular beehive are suited for that particular kind of climate. If I take my beehive to a place like a very hot place,
like Kitui, because we definitely know there are quite a number of beehives in Kitui.
Exactly. So now bees that occupy that particular beehive are environmentally suited for that particular environment. So we are returning the combs. Even this honey, we are not going to harvest this because now this is for their brood. And now,
so even for a farmer or an interested farmer, who is watching us, and they're wondering, so how maybe the measurements of this hive.
Yes. So a beehive, this is what we call the Langston hive, usually standard in terms of the measurements. And usually measures, now those ones are internationally accepted measurements for the hive, which now you can...
Oh, that's... that actually happens.
So you can return them to the
let me see if I can be able to...
But you have to be gentle.
Oh, okay.
Very gentle.
Very, very gentle. This is what I call the moment of truth.
Wow. So, like that. And then now, so that I don't injure a lot of bees now. So don't worry, you can smoke on the edges.
So here side appear to release evil.
Yes, you can also, these ones are okay. They'll get into the hive again.
Oh, they'll get in.
Yes, so what we are now, we just now want to place this queen excluder. And to do that, we have to a little bit make them go. We don't want to kill bees.
Yes, kama hii kama kamoja ni kidogo.
So that's haiwezi epukika. So sometimes you can kill a number, a few. So.
But essentially, because you told us the queen lays eggs. How many eggs per day?
Around 1,800 to 2,000 eggs a day.
So, but then because 1,000, 1,000 eggs. So technically, by 50 days, it has achieved the number of bees that is required in the colony.
Exactly.
So what's the lifespan of a bee?
So a bee would take around 45 to 60 days, and then they would die. Yeah, so their lifespan is also very short, and that's why now the queen also lays a lot of eggs now. Yeah.
And the lifespan of now the queen?
The queen can last around 5 years. 5 years in a beehive, and that is simply because she feeds on something we call royal jelly. And if you check closely on the hive, we have something that looks like black in color. Actually, now this is it's a bee glue in our layman's language, but we call it the propolis. Propolis is like a gum that the bees attach these different parts of the hive together, and also seal an opening to prevent also a lot of air or wind getting into the beehive now. Yes, so you can place the super like this. Wow, like that. So yeah, so we can close this one.
Zimeanza kunikujia wondering, why are you taking our...
So we can open another one.
Okay. So right, so Momo, even as we look for another one.
Yeah, so we are closing the hive, and you have to really smoke a little bit like this, so that, yeah.
So because you've told us, so the queen can, her lifespan is about 5 years.
Yes.
So for a farmer, again, who is interested in getting into this farming,
yes,
how long should he or she stay with one hive? How long should one hive be able to stay?
So a beehive, when you place it in your farm now, can take you around like 1 month before bees get in. When now bees get in now, it can take you around 5 months before you harvest, your first harvest, and then after that now, your beehive can last for around 10 to 15 years.
Wow.
Yes, so you can be harvesting, and then you should be harvesting around 4 times a year, meaning that you can averagely get around 24, that means like 10 kgs per harvest. You can get around 40 kgs per year.
40 kgs,
yes.
40 kgs per year.
Yes, from one beehive.
And roughly in the market, how much would that be?
A kg of honey would fetch around 1,000 shillings per kilo.
Wow.
1,000 shillings a kg.
So that's about
40,000 shillings a year.
40,000 a year.
Yes.
For one hive.
Yes, for one beehive. Yes. So we.
So
these ones are not filled, yes, but we can check another one. We check this one. No, you can check this one.
So you now later you'll be telling us the process of what comes after this.
Exactly. I will show you the process of getting the honey from the combs now to your table.
Sawa. Niweke hizi hapo. So far nimeanza kuzoea the bees swarming around me. Ushaimuona nyuki?
Hiyo ni kawaida. So hiyo ni kawaida. And even now there is something now we call it now the bee therapy. Whereby now the bees are supposed to sting you so that you can also
get used to it.
Not really used, but also there are particular diseases that can be treated by bee stings.
Very interesting.
Yes. So there is no honey here, so you can proceed to another one.
So just by opening this, you're able to
see, yeah, the frames have not filled up. So we can open another type of a beehive. Don't go long shot, the KTBH. So
okay, so even as we cross over to there,
yes.
Why, and I know you'd mentioned this earlier, but then even as a reminder, so why are we having the aluminium rooftop?
So first of all, aluminium does not rust. Secondly, it is reflective, so that if there's any excess light or heat, now it's able to reflect it now back, so that the beehive does not really eat up so much in the inside.
3 kg so far. Yeah. So are you able to tell which beehive has enough honey without opening it?
Yes, even by the behavior of bees.
Oh, just outside.
Yeah, the way they are behaving.
Zingine zimenifuata kwa ile
kawaida.
So apart from, because when we started, I had said the honey that watu wamezoea kwa mkate, what are other products that come from this?
Oh, there are very many products that can come from bees. Actually, there's honey, there's wax, there's propolis, and as you can see, we placed a few pebbles, some stones on it, so that bees don't drown. Yeah. So and then you place them a few meters from your beehive. When it's very, very hot, and the good thing about this drink is it only drips a little amount of water at any given time. And the water. Now this is enough. Now you can place even more pebbles like this to ensure that the bees don't drown because they don't know how to swim. Yeah.
Mimi na bees ni same what's up.
Yes.
Mimi na bee tungeingia kwa maji tuna drown sisi wote. So even as Hilary akitusaidia kufungua the next hive.
Yes.
Naturally, I mean bees are so important in our agriculture sector.
Yes.
The fact that zikipungua in population, that would really mean, because they're really useful when it comes to pollination. Yes. So around this area, for example, should there be, and hata mtu akiamua kukuwa na beehive, should they be looking at wherever they stay and down, mi pali niko hakuna flowers, hakuna mahindi, hakuna horticulture, pali vitu kama hiyo iko, are they still able to have the bees? So
before you start or you put up your beehive, your bee farm, there are factors that you have to really consider. One of them is we call them factors to consider while siting up your apiary. Okay. And they include like closeness to people, the availability of forage, availability of water, shaded area that is not close to a damp place like a swamp. Those are factors you have to really consider, and that's why we really emphasize when you are setting up your bee farm, it is very important for you to seek advice from an experienced apiarist or an experienced beekeeper like us from Bee Farmers, and we are going to really guide you through the whole process so that you can be able, you don't make mistakes from the early stages.
Right.
Yes.
Sawa. So Hilary, sasa wewe ndio utatuambia the next.
So we are going to open a different type of a beehive that is called the Kenya top bar hive. It's totally different from the Langstroth, and usually horizontal looks like a wedge. So we're also going to see whether there is honey inside or they have not really stocked honey right now.
And why is that? Even as we proceed to this hive, why is it different?
The Kenya top bar hive is different because, first of all, the shape first is wedged. The Langstroth is boxed in shape. The KTBH is wedged in shape. So beehive, no honey.
I'm also seeing a green one here.
Yes, you can also have different colors.
Oh, okay.
Yellow means visibility, easier for visibility. Green, blessed with the nature.
Ah.
Yes, I don't know whether we have honey. But now this KTBH, it looks like a wedge, as you can see. And also now the frames are now arranged like this, and they're usually like around 24 frames. And then this honey, you have to crush it. You don't have to use a machine like the other ones. And you can see now here, they are like this.
The other one was about, you told us 10 frames?
Yes. Wow. Seems there's a lot of honey, but this side. Now, there's something we call a queen excluder.
A queen excluder,
yes. This is one of the pests for bees, and usually called the small hive beetles. And they can be trapped using something we call as small hive beetle trap. Exactly, they are pests for bees. So in between here, this frame is something we call a queen excluder, which is now prevents the queen from now going to this other part of the hive, which is now the super part.
So so how do you calculate and upime uone?
Yes. You just there's a way, usually like a quarter and 3/4. Yes. So in fact, you can do around. No, it's 2/3 and 1/3. 1/3, 2/3.
So 2/3. So you told us this is 24 frames.
Yes.
So you calculate 24. Ooh.
So you can smoke. So you can see now the way the frames look like. These are KTBH. They look like this. But these ones are brood. There's no honey in this side. You have just opened the brooding chamber. Yeah, like that.
Zimekasirika zinasema cheni kutusumbua.
Ni kawaida, because now you see now the bees have stocked honey, but the good thing is we have given them a house, so we should come and collect something.
Another important question.
Yes.
Pali tumetoka, we're from from one of the hives.
Yes.
So for example, one of the apiaries, alikuwa anaangalia anachukua honey.
Yes.
And one of the bees and a few bees zikamfuata.
Yes.
Na akakuja akafungua hapa.
Yes.
And they also now you also opened these ones.
Yes.
So can they mix up? Can bees mix up in hives?
Not really, they don't, because each bee knows their
specific hive.
Their specific home.
So hata zenye zimenifuata hapa zitarudi home.
So each bee knows their specific home. And this one is mostly because of something we call a pheromone. Pheromone is a chemical substance that is produced by the queen. And the queen, now that particular pheromone now maintains colonies. Even if you are to place your hives very close to each other, it is very high that your bees are going to shift from the hive to a different one. It usually happens, and when that happens, you usually call it drifting. But it was on very rare cases. And when a bee drifts, like it changes the location. Let's say from hive number 1 goes to number 2. Now that particular bee will be chased away.
Oh.
Yes.
So what am I holding?
So this is a comb that has just broken out from a KTBH or a Kenya top bar hive, and the KTBH actually has the frames. You see they are taking shape of the beehive.
So I think
you can brush them like that, and they are just eating the honey that we harvested. But this is not really honey. This is it's a comb that broke and you can see it has a lot of pollen. This yellow substance. This is now the pollen. But now when it is inside the beehive, we call it...
The pollen grains that they...
Exactly. They come and fix them here. But now when it is in here, we don't call them pollen, we call them bee bread now. Bee bread, yes. They are different colors. Nyuki. Now this is not what they ingest plus nectar, and then they mix it to make honey now. Yes. Yeah.
So, because you've told us this is not honey.
Yes.
So, but then can you use this as, because the number of products that you told us, yes, the wax and all that. So what can be used as a product of this?
This is very potent in terms of protein content, the pollen, and also can also be eaten or ingested, and also helps in cleaning or this gut system.
Oh, the gut system. Okay.
Yes.
Ah, interesting.
Yeah.
Some honey residue, cocoa gloves, the whole temptation of just...
Yeah. So there's a temptation of even now feeling like you want to hit the honey, but now you can't get your bee suit off because you know what is going to happen.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So we are good.
Oh, so we're also carrying this?
Yeah, we're carrying this because it broke away from the combs, from the frames.
So even as we wrap it up, yes, why would a farmer get into this kind of farming?
It is very good for a farmer to really get into beekeeping because bees don't really bring the advantage of having honey. Beehives account to 80% of pollination. So if you're a farmer and you're doing other forms of farming like planting avocados, you are doing maize, you are doing other plants that need pollination, bees are going to be very critical in ensuring that you increase your production and your production quantities and also the quality of your products. If they are mangoes, if they are oranges, if they are avocados and all that. Beekeeping is also very good to the nature. In fact, most of the times when farmers keep bees, they also get more aware of the environment, and they get into planting of trees, which now supplements the forage for their bees. So beekeeping also is a source of income. If you sell your honey, you get money. Honey is also very good for other products like healing of wounds. You can also use it as a preservative. There are other products that also come from honey, which is the propolis, which also serves as a very good product for your gut system. There's venom that is used in the medical industry. There's royal jelly that also is an anti-aging product. And also those other products are very, very, very expensive. Like venom can fetch around 3,000 shillings to 5,000 shillings per gram. Royal jelly can fetch around 20 to 30,000 shillings per kilo. So in terms of quantities, all the revenues now is a little bit different because now there are other factors that you cannot really predict. Like one of them is rates of colonization. That means that you can have all your 10 hives, yes, but not all of them can have bees in. But averagely what we can do is we can take a case of one beehive. So in 1 year you can get 40 kilos from one beehive. You can get like around half kg of a propolis. You can be able to harvest around 250 grams of pollen. You can harvest around 5 grams of venom. You can get like 10 grams of royal jelly from one hive in 1 year. So, but you find that for you to be a good farmer, don't really focus on all those products. At most, focus on 3 products. And we usually tell farmers start with honey, wax, probably propolis, and pollen. The other products are usually a little bit technical, and they may require a lot of your time, although they also give you a lot of revenues. My advice to farmers or to any interested individual, I would say beekeeping is the easiest form of agribusiness that you can venture in because it requires very little input and also very little time for you to manage. Because when you buy a beehive, bees colonize, you don't have to be visiting your beehives every day. I would advise people to also keep bees because they they contribute to large part of pollination for our food. If you have eaten today, trust you me that there is a factor of pollination in that particular food. And also B is you're talking something about climate change and also the effect of climate change. Beehives and also bees are an integral part that we should think about in like reforestation and also in the process of ensuring that we get more plants or more vegetation in the whole, in the whole ecosystem. Yeah, so thank you very much. And as we go ahead to test the honey that we have harvested.
And this is how we wrap it up. Kamushaito honey, this is the real honey. Let me... Oh yes. Every single Monday to Friday, this is Morning Cafe News, truly Stanley Nyeringita, just telling you what you really need to know in conversations that we really need to have. We do this again next time. Kwaheri, and asante sana for sticking around.
Kikohozi cha muda wowote, kutokwa na jasho kwa wingi usiku, uchungu kwenye kifua, afya kudhoofika, tafuta matibabu. Labda ni TB ni ugonjwa wa kweli. Ukipimwa matibabu yapo utapona. Daktari kushauri tumia dawa kwa nidhamu. Elimu tupashane tupige vita TB. Mwa TB waishi poa. Mwa TB waishi poa.
Over the past 5 years, we have grown in leaps and bounds. TV47 is now a formidable force in Kenya's media landscape, an achievement we couldn't have done without you, our audience. Your support has propelled us to new heights and has earned us recognition. Our journalists have been honored for their exemplary work and commitment to excellence. We are now the home of the